Yeah, hello. Good evening. How was your paper? Excellent. Very good. Okay. Which essay did you all attempt? Paper was good. Very good. Yeah, give you tips for literature. Okay. So what about solving some MCQs? Okay, daffodils explaining now. Oh, many of you all wrote argumentative. Yeah, this time the argumentative one was really good. Means it was not a one-sided topic. Sorry, it was not a balanced topic, one sided one. So you are not in the confusion as to whether you would displease the paper corrector, whoever is examiner. Yeah, because everyone will say, of course, junk food is not good or whatever. You cannot, of course, say that yes, junk food is good for us. So it was a one sided topic. So if you have attempted that one also, no problem. Yeah, Jai Shri Ram. It's nice to see. My God, I'm flattered, Hassan. Okay, paper was good. Yes, daffodils, I have that in mind. Just wait 1 minute. Acha, how about some, yes, revisions? Yeah, that's indeed good. Someone said they expect more than 90. Of course, then I will feel my labor has not gone in vain. And the grammar section. Okay, so first, in a hurricane revision, let's go for some MCQs which I have found in the pre-boards coming from my students only. So how about solving them? Just listen. The children of Venus first saw the sun when they were off. When they were off, there are four options: 9 years, 8 years, 2 years, 7 years. Somebody, please go, please go, please go, I said. Yeah, 2 years. Very good. Because the sun comes up every 7 years. So now they are 9 years. Of course, it's 2 years. Very good. A thumbs up for all of you. Next one, the second one. The athletes started to run when? Four options. The loudspeakers called out. A. B is the light signaled. C. The pistol exploded. And D. The whistle was blown. So there are four. Yeah, very good. C. Doing quite well. So it's C. The pistol exploded. Today when I got out from my house, you know what happened? I met three students. They were in a state of confusion whether they would call me or not. And then they said, ma'am, we watch your videos. I don't know them, but they are from a neighboring school. And they were also, I was also excited that I'm being spotted. So they were very happy that they saw me. And they said that they were watching my live video yesterday also. Yeah. So the pistol exploded, it's C. Very good. Now the third one. In the poem, I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings, the free bird is a metaphor for four options: white American, B. African Americans, C. Africans, D. British. Four options. The free bird is a metaphor for, very good, A. White American. Suppose it was given caged bird, then what should have been the option? Yes, in if the question had been the free why a caged bird is a metaphor for, in that case your answer should have been African Americans, but you are right, white Americans. are the free birds. So it is A. Afro-Americans or African Americans, they are the cage bird, and who are the free bird? They are the white Americans. Yes, you all are doing very good, very well. I'm sure you all will get all the 16 marks in this one. Now let's continue. The next one, the old walls rocked with crowd and cries. This is an indication of, pay attention, A, overcrowded cities in Victorian England. This is one. Number B1, poverty-stricken cities in Victorian era. C, people's enthusiasm to welcome their hero. And D, noise-loving people in Victorian era. D is noise-loving people in Victorian era. No, it's C. Yes. C, the answer is people's enthusiasm to welcome their hero. Very good. So don't try D. If you have written D, don't. The answer is people's enthusiasm to welcome their hero. Okay? Next one. Number 5. Making it rich and like a lily in bloom is an example of 1. Simile, 2 or B, metaphor, C, personification, D, hyperbole. Yeah, simile, like a lily in bloom, like and as, they are your similes. So like a lily in bloom. Yes, very good. And why did someone wish me happy birthday? Sorry, it's not my birthday today. Okay. Now the next one. What did the little match girl see when she struck the first match? First match. A, a beautiful candle in Christmas tree. B, a great iron stove. C, bright stars shooting across the sky. And D, a stuffed goose waddling towards her. So if you want, yes, B, you've got it. B, the great iron stove. The goose will be the second dream. So goose would be the second one. And the third would be the Christmas tree. And the fourth, yes, grandmother coming. So it's B, very good, iron stove. Next one, number 7. Why did Mrs. Ellis decide to take in Kate? Remember? Angel in disguise. It is from there. A, she had no children of her own. B, she wanted to take care of Kate. C, she had been looking out for a bound girl. And D, she felt pity for Kate. Yeah, very good. Bound girl. Yeah, क्या doubt है? Acha, let me finish this MCQ, few MCQs, and then I'll solve your doubts. Tomorrow also I'll try to go live to solve your doubts. In the meantime, study at home and sort out the difficulties. Next one. With reference to the blue bead, which state does the traveling merchant belong to? A, Kerala, B, Andhra Pradesh, C, Kashmir, and D, Punjab. Yeah, before I complete, you all have studied your literature so well. Very good. See, you all can score 100 in literature. I have been getting this from my students for the last few years. So yes, a perfect 100 I want from you all. So yes, it's Kashmir or the C option. Not Kerala, dear. It's Kashmir. Now the 9th one. Why does the poet compare the daffodils? Yes, someone had asked me for daffodils. Kavya, it's not my birthday. So why does the poet compare the daffodils to stars that shine and twinkle in the Milky Way? So option A, listen. They stretched in a never-ending line like the stars. B, they tossed their heads in sprightly dance like the stars. C, they fluttered and danced in the breeze like the stars. And they twinkle like the stars. Yeah. So here there is a confusion. It can be A, it can be D. But the daffodils actually did not twinkle. The stars twinkle, but what twinkles? When the sun's rays fall on the water, where on the water, the waves beside. So they twinkle, not the daffodils. The daffodils can't twinkle. So the first option, but there is a confusion. So it's A. They stretched in a never ending line like the stars. Question 8. Question 8 is that with reference to blue bead, which state does the traveling merchant belong to? No, my anniversary is not today, it's on the 26th. This month only. So please don't disturb, guys. Acha, number 10. Alack, it was I who leaped at the sun. Options. What does this suggest about the patriot? A. Arrogant. B. Overconfident. C. Overambitious. D. Very happy. It's C. Overambitious. Yeah, he leaped at the sun. Leaping at the sun is unthinkable. So he tried to achieve something which was beyond him. Even if you try to reach the sun, you won't be. We are not Bajrangbali that we will go and take the sun and hide it. So he is all powerful. We are not. So the patriot, when he tried to leap at the sun, he did something over ambitious. So it's C. Next one. Why did Jesse Owens foul the first 2 times in the qualifying jumps? A. Option. Please listen. He was angry about Hitler's ways. B. He felt insecure about Long's looks. C. He was overconfident about himself. And D. He was careless. So, which is the correct option? He was angry about Hitler's ways. And remember what his coach had told him. That an angry athlete is bound to make mistakes. And that is what he did. So, he was angry. Angry is the first option. It is A. Very good. No, it's not C, dear. It's A. An angry athlete. He was angry about Hitler's Aryan superiority theory. And that is what had made him foul. He was so angry, and when you are angry, you will foul. How does Portia plan to behave so as to be taken for a young man? A. She will walk with long manly strides. 1 or A. B. She will talk loudly. C. She will hit everyone who comes her way. And D. She will wear beard and mustache. Yes, very good. It's 1 minute. It's A. Walk with long manly strides. This is what she tells Nerissa, how she will behave. Next one. Why is Shylock called the stony adversary? Why? First one. He spit on Antonio during the trial scene. B. He was bent on receiving the pound of flesh from Antonio's body. C. He threatened the Duke. And fourth, he mocked Bassanio in the court. So why is he called a stony adversary? Yeah, very good. B. You all have given me the right answer. He was bent on receiving the pound of flesh from Antonio's body. Very good. And in his remark about Christian husbands, who does Shylock say he would have preferred rather than a Christian for his daughter? Options. A greedy Jew. Second one, Barabbas. Third one, Lancelot. Fourth one of the family of Barabbas. Yes. Yes. So don't go into conclusion before you see all the options. Some of you said Barabbas, but the answer is one of the family of Barabbas. That means a descendant of Barabbas. So please pay attention to all the options before going for the answer, right? It's D. And the 15th one. Can no prayers pierce thee? Can no prayers pierce thee? First one. Who says these words? Antonio to Shylock. B. Bassanio to Shylock. C. Portia to Shylock. And D. Graciano to Shylock. Who says this? Graciano. No, not Bassanio. Graciano says, can no praise pierce thee? Graciano to Shylock. Okay. So that means it is D. Option D. Yes. Which one? Okay, I'll repeat. Can no praise pierce thee? Who says these words to whom? Who to whom in the trial scene? Antonio to Shylock, Bassanio to Shylock, Portia to Shylock, and Graciano to Shylock. Yes, it's D. Thank you. Okay, the last one. What does Antonio offer as bond against any future identity by Graciano or Bassanio? What does Antonio offer? So this is Act 5, Scene 1. After the ring episode, remember that. He offers again what? A. His soul, B. His estate, C. His flesh, and D. A chest of gold. Hi. So, he is better. Yeah. So, which one? A. His soul. First he says, I had pledged my body and now I'm ready to pledge my soul. So, if you remember the lines, if you have read the text very well, the MCQs are not a problem. Yes, it's A. So, this paper comes to an end. I'll go for some tricky ones if there are any. Let me check. My students were going for some. One more. What is the patriot in Browning's poem referring to when he says, thus I entered and thus I go? So the four options. His birth and death, B. His entry into public life and his decision to quit, C. His short-lived dramatic rise and fall in popularity, and the last one, his career as a soldier. C. Very good. It's C. His short-lived dramatic rise and fall in popularity. Some more? Yes, very good. All of you who have given C. And thanks for your love, dear. What if I have completed means? MOV troubles. Yes, shoot them. Salarino says there is more difference between thy flesh and hers than between jet and ivory. Remember this one? So, who is thy referred over here? A. Salanio, B. Tubal, C. Shylock, D. Jessica. Yes, it's Shylock. This is an obvious one, Shylock. And why is someone sending me red angry faces? Please don't get angry. Next one. Act 3, Scene 2, Bassanio says, but is it true, Salerio, hath all his ventures failed? After that, he mentions names of some places related to Antonio's voyage. Which of the following are not in the speech? So listen to the places mentioned by Bassanio. Bassanio asks, Tripoli, England, Barbary. Which of these places? And America. So which of the places which have not been mentioned? Tripoli, England, Barbary, and America. Yes, America. America has not been mentioned by Bassanio. Bassanio doesn't mention America there. Acha. Salanio refers to Shylock as an impenetrable cur. What does the word cur mean? Options: dog, wolf, fox, pig. Dog, wolf, fox, pig. Yes, it's dog. Cur. Shakespeare is very fond of the word. Okay, I'll repeat it. Salanio refers to Shylock as an impenetrable cur. What does the word cur mean? Dog, wolf, fox, pig. Yeah, dog. Now the next one. I'll be a bit slow, otherwise you all might not follow. It's a big one. Whom does Portia mean by bragging Jack? in the line. I have in mind 1,000 of raw tricks of these bragging jacks which I will practice. Listen to the options very carefully. Young teenage boys trying to gain social recognition to prove they are brave. Young men who try to gain attention of a woman for the purpose of marriage. C. Young schoolboys trying to pursue their high school sweethearts. D. Young teenage boys who boast a lot to gain attention of the opposite gender. So which is the correct option? Thousand of these bragging jacks. So he has a number of tricks of these bragging jacks. No, I wouldn't say sweethearts actually. So many of them fell in love. So this one is confusing. I'll read the options once again. Young teenage boys trying to gain social recognition. So they try to act very manly. Trying to gain social recognition to prove they are ready. They are brave and ready for war. Not war. Young men who try to gain attention of women for the purpose of marriage. No, not men. Young boys. And young schoolboys trying to pursue their high school sweethearts, and young teenage boys who boast a lot to gain attention of the opposite gender. So not school. They have people will swear that they have passed their school a little 12 months back. That means a year ago they have left school. So it should be D. It should be D. Yes, very good. What Lancelot says, when Lancelot says, this making of Christians will raise the price of hogs, what does he mean? Options. As Jews don't consume pork, but the Christians do, so the conversion of Jews will increase the demand for porks. Next one. As Christians consume pork but does not breed them, so the prices will increase. C. Increase in Christians will raise more people getting equal opportunity to work. And D. As Jews don't consume pork but the Christians do, so the conversion of Jews will increase the supply of pork. Yeah, it's A, undoubtedly. There is no doubt in this one. This is going very fast. So yes, you will be repeating the questions if you have any. So the option is A. Very good. Now the next one. Who took John after his mother passed away? Remember John? A. Mrs. Ellis. B. The blacksmith's wife. C. Jones. And D. Joe. Who took John after his mother passed away? That means after his mother died, who took John? Angel in disguise. Yes. The options are Mrs. Ellis, the blacksmith's wife, C. Jones, and D. Joe. Farmer Jones. Yes, it's C. C. Correct option. Very good. Farmer Jones. Eighth one. What reason does Mr. Thompson give his wife for carrying Maggie directly to the poorhouse? Not carrying Maggie directly to the poorhouse. A. The poorhouse and the guardians are closed at night. B. He needs to take permission from the guardians before going to the poorhouse. It is a long walk to the guardians and he was tired. And D. The poorhouse needs the permission from the guardian before admitting Maggie. Yes, it's B. He needs to take permission. That is what he told his wife, that I can't go on fool's errand. It's B. Very good. All of you have written B. Next one, number 9. Assertion. This, what does it mean? The first vision of the little girl was a great iron stove with polished brass knobs and brass ornaments. Reason, why? She was hungry and she longed for bed. So, this is the reason which is given. And the options are assertion is false and reason is true. First one is assertion and the second one is reason. So, first one, assertion is false, reason is true. B. Assertion is true and reason is false. See, both assertion and reasons are true, but the reason does not justify the assertion. And D, both the assertion and reasons are true, and reason properly justifies the assertion. So, no, great iron stove means she was feeling cold. So, that is one. Assertion is true. The reason, she was hungry and she longed for food. No, this is not the correct one. So, the assertion and the reason both are correct, but they don't match. So, both the assertions are true, but the reason does not justify the assertion. So, it is C, not B. Reason is false. No, she was also hungry. She was also hungry. This is also a reason, but not the reason for the option that has been given or the assertion. What does antediluvian saurian mean? Reptile existing from the time of Christ. Reptile existing before the biblical flood. A carnivorous creature existing from the time of Christ. And a carnivorous creature existing from before the biblical flood. So, antediluvian. No, this is about the crocodile. So, before the time of the flood, I would say. Yes, it's B. That biblical flood. And what story did Sibia tell her mother when she reached home? A. A girl was attacked by a crocodile. B. She saved a lady from a crocodile. C. She found a blue bead. And D. She killed the crocodile. So which is the correct option? Yes, blue bead. She doesn't brag that I saved one lady from the crocodile. These things happen in their day-to-day lives. Their lives are full of danger and they know how to face it. But the blue bead meant something to her. It was indeed very precious. A blue bead. So very good. She found a blue bead. 11th one. Done. Now the 12th one. What figure of speech are present in, listen to the line. Yes, I'm from Kolkata. I wandered lonely as I wandered. It's not wondered. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over hills. So, which are the figures of speech? Simile and alliteration, metaphor and alliteration, simile and personification, and metaphor and personification. Where does E come from? Someone don't play the mischief. See, listen again. Simile and alliteration. Metaphor and alliteration. Simile and personification. So, yes, it should be not only simile and personification. Each of them have two. So, simile, why? I wandered lonely as a cloud. So, that is a simile. That floats high over vales and hills. So, the cloud is being personified. So, simile and personification. Alliteration, I don't find. Thank you for the compliment. 1 minute. Which of the following represents the chronological advancement of daffodils? Step by step. Chronological means right from the beginning, A, B, C, D, in that way. Step by step till the last. So, option A, sprightly dance, jocund company, bliss of solitude, lonely as a cloud. So, rule out this one. Lonely as a cloud should come first. So, this one gone. B, lonely as a cloud, bliss of solitude, jocund company, sprightly dance. Rule out this one also because bliss of solitude comes at the end. Leave this one. C, bliss of solitude, jocund company. Rule out this one. Bliss of solitude comes to the end. Now, obviously, it will be the fourth one. Lonely as a cloud, sprightly dance, jocund company, bliss of solitude. So, it is D. This is how it proceeds. First, he feels lonely. Then, he sees the sprightly dance of the daffodils. Then, he finds this to be a jocund company. And finally, a bliss of solitude. So, it's D. So, listen first. Okay, thank you for the happy birthday, though it's in September, right? Please, please, please pay attention. You all have your exams day after. I don't mind a little bit of mischief. Carry on. Where are the palsied few? This is of course from Patriot. A. On the housetop. B. At the shambles gate. C. At the window. D. On the scaffold's foot. So where are the palsied few? Yes, at the window, because the rest have gone to the shambles gate, so it's at the window, right? And according to Leigh Hunt, who are blessed by God? Who is Leigh Hunt? Can you tell me who is Leigh Hunt? Yeah, Windows is correct for the previous one. Oh, Jasmeet, you are my student, online student, right? Okay, so Leigh Hunt, who is the author, poet? Who is the poet of Abu Ben Adhem? I have been teaching since 1995, right? But online from the lockdown times I have started online. Yes, I live in Kolkata. So the options are, according to Leigh Hunt, who are blessed by God? Those who love God, those who love their fellow people, those who pray regularly, and D, those who do good deeds. So do you say this to your grandmother? So those who love their fellow people. So this is option B. Very good. So those of you who are intending to create mischief, please don't. There are others who are serious and they want to do something worthwhile, so please don't disturb them. So this is the one. Yes, service to your neighbors is service to God. Okay, so these are the MCQs. So I did 2 papers of MCQ, and now some of you had asked me for some problems, but it is going very fast, so I don't know how much I'll be able to manage. But of course, like for daffodils, 1 minute, like yes, see, I would suggest attempt it as in the order it has been given in the question paper. So in that case I would suggest, because sometimes it means that you might miss, because in the exam hall you are full of confusion, panic stricken, many of you. So it's better you follow it. It is said attempt one from A, from B and C, and then from any of the 3 groups. So go in that way. I would suggest you go one from Merchant of Venice, one from poem, and if you are attempting, of course you have to attempt from prose also, one from each, and then go for the ones you please. Okay, I'll try to, but I'm not very good technologically, so I don't know how to put. So anyway, I'll ask any of my student if they can put up in the group. They are quite good. I wouldn't suggest you to leave anything, because you'll get your MCQs from there also. I'll tell why you shouldn't leave. Because you'll get your MCQs from each of the chapters, right? And in that case, what happens? If you have not read the chapter thoroughly, you will be in trouble. So MCQ is the place where you can score a full 16. But if you leave, if you leave any chapter, then you will be at a loss. And for MCQ, you need thorough. So go through them at least once. Don't leave anything in that sense. Focus more on the ones which you want to attempt. But go for all the chapters, at least on the eve of examination, go for all of them. Suddenly my battery is creating a problem. Regarding daffodils, I'll just go stanza wise, not every line. So here in the first paragraph, the poet is lonely and he compares himself to a cloud. So a cloud which is floating high over vales and hills. And then what does he see? He sees a number of golden daffodils. And where does he see them? Beside the lake, beneath the trees. fluttering and dancing in the breeze. That means the daffodils seem to be very happy. Actually, nothing like that. The daffodils are being personified, but a breeze is blowing and Nishi Sen, that means Shambhavi, right? So, beside the lake beneath the trees, this is where he finds the daffodils. Okay, so first paragraph, his mental state is not very happy. He is in a sad mood. I wandered lonely as a cloud. And then he is lonely, and in a lonely state, yes, you are depressed. And then suddenly he sees the daffodils, and they, with their sprightly or energetic dance, they lift his spirits. Next one, there is again a comparison. Continuous as the stars that shine. This is the first comparison. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. Okay, I'll come to it. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. So he is comparing the daffodils to the stars. Where do you find the stars? Twinkling on the Milky Way. And how did they stretch in a never-ending line? The line seems never to end. And 10,000 is an exaggeration, hyperbole. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. So, shaking their heads, tossing their heads, moving their heads in a energetic manner. Next one, the waves beside them danced. This is another comparison. In the second paragraph, the comparison is to the stars. In the third paragraph, the comparison is with the waves. Both are dancing, the daffodils as well as the waves. But they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. So who is a better performer? Who is dancing better? The daffodils. So in this situation, when everyone is happy, the daffodils are happy, the waves are happy, how could a poet not be gay? So he has to he will automatically become happy in a happy company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the shore to me had brought. So he keeps on gazing. He keeps on gazing at the dancing waves and at the dancing daffodils, and at this time he does not realize. Little thought means he did not think then. Don't think he thought a little. Little thought means he did not think at all how valuable this scene was. He will come to understand its value in the last paragraph. And in the last one he says, for oft when on my couch I lie in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. So his heart he feels very happy. See, when he was lying on his couch, he was not happy. But after that, because he was alone, he was in a sad mood. And then suddenly the thought of the daffodils or the memory of the dancing daffodils, they come. He sees them through his third eye. He doesn't see them physically present. He sees them through his third eye or the mind's eye, which is the bliss of solitude. Bliss means happiness. And solitude means a state of being happy when you are alone. You can also become happy when you are alone. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. So he feels happy, his heart is filled with pleasure, and he also starts dancing with the daffodils. So this is in short. Yeah, this is going. Ma'am, I have a problem in why the P3. So many of you are asking for alternative titles. So prepare an alternative title, because in the pre-boards I have heard that many of you have got similar questions regarding the alternative titles. Alternative title for which one? Yes, pleading for which one? For blue bead. Uh, you all suggest, like I tell my students, you all suggest and then you go for the most appropriate one. Blue bead. Why? Because the blue bead, or you can say Sibia the child woman, because she is the heroine. Regarding blue bead, you can go for Sibia the child woman. My greatest Olympic prize. What are you asking for in greatest Olympic prize? Yes, someone is telling, ma'am, I have a problem in what? Keyword. See, the most important word in your answer, like you get a question, who was Shylock? So, if you write, I'm just giving an example. If you get Shylock was a Jewish money lender. So, in that case, the keywords are Jewish money lender, and you will underline these words. Yeah, courageous girl regarding the blue bead. But I would prefer if you mention the name of Sibia. Of course, it's a good one. Abu Ben Adhem. So in Abu Ben Adhem, do good to others. Be philanthropic. Philanthropic is a person who does good to others. So regarding Abu Ben Adhem, you can say be philanthropic or do good to others. And title for it is going very. Why the cage bird sings? Yes, in the cage bird sings. Where is the problem? Ask me that. Because yeah, thank you. Yeah, secret victory of Sibia, because her mother doesn't know of it, only she knows, but still, yes. Nishi Sen. All summer in a day. All summer in a day. A day in Venus. A day in Venus. Or the appearance of the sun in Venus. You can go for that. An angel in disguise. Angel in disguise, it's Maggie. So what do we say for this one? Alternative title. Why is someone making faces like that? Maggie. Maggie, a source of happiness. Maggie, give a hyphen, a source of happiness. Cage bird, yes. Regarding cage bird, what? No, full doing of the cage bird won't be possible. So here in cage bird, I can just go for a summarizing of it. That what does the poet try to put in the cage bird? The cage bird is symbolic of the Afro-Americans and their fight for freedom, the struggle. Maya Angelou was a black author, Afro-American, and the problems she suffered, the sufferings of the Afro-American people, that has been very aptly projected in the poem. So side by side, the free bird and the cage bird, they have been juxtaposed side by side. First you see the options that the cage bird gets. The cage bird is happy. Why? Because he can claim the sky as his own. And the free bird, he is in, and the cage bird is inside the cage, so he cannot move. He doesn't have the freedom. He is restricted by the bars of the cage, so he cannot see properly. Not only that, his wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So this is symbolic. Cage bird and the problems which Afro-Americans suffered. They lacked freedom. And then again, the cage bird has no other option. They are gagged. And then also the cage bird, in spite of being restricted, it sings. Sings of what? It sings of things which it has not experienced but longs for. That means it sings for freedom. It has not experienced freedom. It's in a cage and yet it longs for it. And these are, the song is carried to the distant hills. That means to places where people are still lacking freedom. So they hear her song. She sings of freedom. And whereas the free bird is happy with his life, that means the white Americans, they are enjoying their lives as they please. They are waiting for the fat ones, that means fresh opportunities. And the sky is his own, so much of freedom. And again, for the cage bird, another comparison, the cage bird, his dreams have ended. He knows his dreams will never materialize, they are buried. And so when he shouts, it seems as if people, when they shout when they have a nightmare, the cage bird as if seems like that. Why? Because his wings are clipped, the feet tied, and so the only option left to him is left to the cage bird is only to sing, and sing for freedom. And then it is a repetition of the fourth stanza. Once again, angel in disguise. Yeah, so others, they thought Maggie to be a burden, and that is why they opted to keep her all to herself and they rushed out of the house. But the childless couple, the Thompson couple, what is the name? One is Jenny and yes. So the Thompson couple, they are childless, and the husband convinces the wife that they should be kind to her. And finally, all the suppressed emotion that was in the heart of that lady, it came out. And Maggie was such a sweet girl that she was able to make her way into the heart of this lady, Mrs. Thompson. And so she becomes an angel in disguise to them. Whereas the other thought her as a burden, she becomes an angel to them. Why? Because their house, which was dark and cold in the absence of a child, so their house becomes brightened up with the coming of Maggie. So that is why she is an angel in disguise, because other people don't realize that she is an angel, but she is indeed one to the childless Thompson couple. Patriot is a good day, ma'am, in the section 3. Please do MOV Act 3. See, MOV Act 3 is not possible in that sense, but if you have some particular lines you can tell. Little Match Girl again is a very short story. Here we find in the Victorian era, the children, people are indifferent to the sufferings of others, especially to the children. Poor little match girl, no one is buying any match from her. No one loves her. Even at home there is domestic violence. She is afraid of going home. She feels the street is better than her home. Why? Because her father would beat her up. And she prefers to be in the open and she gets frozen to death. But before her death, all the dreams or the visions which she sees, they are symbolic. She longed for food. She was very cold, so that is why the iron stove. She longed for food, so it seemed as if the stuffed goose is walking towards her. She longed for happiness, entertainment and all that. So the Christmas tree, Christmas is a happy time. And the last one, she longed for love, and her grandmother was the only person who loved her. And she felt that these, what should I say, these visions, they are disappearing the moment the matchstick gets burnt out. So in order to keep her grandmother, stop her from going away, she lights all the matches. She picks up a lot of them. But she doesn't realize that she is getting frozen to death, and her grandmother has come to take her to heaven, where she will be in the everlasting care of God. Patriot. Act 3 scene 2. In Act 3, Scene 2, Casket 1. Casket 1, I'll always tell you regarding Act 3, Scene 2, you should go for the speech of Bassanio regarding the different examples he gives to prove that outward appearance can be deceptive. This speech is of course important. So which are the examples? First one, Bassanio, before he chooses the, or while he chooses the casket, the theme or the main key line of Shakespeare's drama Merchant of Venice, outward outward shows be least themselves. This is the keynote of Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice. Don't be fooled by outward appearance. So here we find first one, it is about the law case. Law case may be the case which comes up in the court may be a corrupt one, but the eloquent lawyer pleads and wins over the judge. And a corrupt case is the corruptness or the evil is hidden. Why? Because of the eloquent speech given by the lawyer. Because of the gracious voice of the lawyer, the evil gets hidden. This is the first one. So there is evil. Sin has been committed. Wrong has been done. Offense has been done. But it gets hidden. Second example is that in the case of religion also, someone has committed a sin, but a person with a very sober look, he comes and quotes lines from the holy scriptures and says that no, this is not a sin. See, this act had been done by someone and it proved to be good, so he has not committed any sin. So, but a sin has been committed and the person with a sober brow justifies it by quoting lines from the scripture. But that is not really the truth. The truth gets hidden by the sober appearance of the person. And then the cowards. There are many cowards who don't want others. The third example. There are many cowards who don't want that their cowardice should be known by others. So what do? They sport the beards of Hercules. Hercules was the most powerful and the bravest man of his time. So they try to put on the beard of Hercules and they keep on frowning. Why? To show that they are very angry and no nonsense type of people. Isse panga nahi lena. But if you challenge them, you will find that they are real cowards. Okay. So this is the third one. Yes, this is the third example. The fourth one, beauty. So these makeup kits, they make a Jessica turn into Jane. That means someone Jussie turn into Jessica. That means a makeover. But in reality, the person is not good looking. But a lot of makeup put on hides the real appearance and makes the person look good, look quite attractive. So I remembered one story which I had read in which the girl had the man had fallen for the beautiful hair of the girl. This is what I have read here also, had fallen for that. But then after marriage he realizes, oh, that was a wig. Imagine his horror when he sees his wife with hardly any hair on her head and the wig made her look so beautiful and he had fallen for that false appearance. So here also the same thing. Crisp, snaky golden locks which keep on swaying in the wind. So they make her look very beautiful, but it doesn't belong to her. The person to whom the hair belongs, it comes from someone who is in her grave. So this is the fourth example. The fifth one, a beautiful scarf hiding the face of the person. So seeing the beautiful scarf, outward appearance, you might be under the impression that the person whose face the scarf is hiding must be very beautiful. But when you remove the scarf, you find that it is a black beauty, a West Indian beauty, not a Indian beauty. Don't think it means we Indians. And anyway, black is also beautiful. We have our goddess Kali also. She's so beautiful. So anyway, but this is Shakespeare. He was a racist. And black people meant that, yes, they were, in the previous times, The villains, they would always be black. So Shylock, black. Jet and Ivory. So they were racist people. So, and then the last one, he says that gaudy gold, why does he refuse the gold casket? Because hard food for Midas. Midas and his love for gold is known to everyone. And finally, he learnt a lesson that gold is not the most precious thing when his daughter turned to gold. And he couldn't eat his food also. That gave him a jolt. So hard food for Midas. He touched his food and it turned to gold. Hard food for Midas. So he rejects the gold casket. Why does he reject the silver casket? Because he says that silver coins, in those days silver coins were in vogue. So silver coins pass from the hand of one person to the other. So that is why he rejects the silver. This is hardly any reason for rejecting. Just to make Bassanio choose the lead casket, Shakespeare has written this. But I don't think this is a very strong reason to reject the silver casket. Anyway, the lead casket is a dull casket. But why does he go for the lead casket? Because outwardly it might be pale, but what is written on it impresses him the most. There is a threat, not a promise. But lovers, they are ready to undergo any danger or threat, true lovers. And that is why he chose the lead casket. He says, which rather threatenest than dost promise aught. Thy paleness moves me more than eloquence. And here choose I, joy be the consequence. So the blunt message which is written on the lead casket instead of promises, that impresses Bassanio the most and he goes for it. So, you all had asked me for the casket part. Bars of rage, see the cage bird is in the cage and the bars of the cage, they come in his view of seeing the outside world. If you are outside the cage, nothing prevents you from seeing the clean sky or everything. But when a person is within bars and he tries to see the outward world, he wouldn't be able to see it unrestricted. The bars come in his way, and he gets angry at this. That is why bars of rage. Patriot, last stanza. Okay. An angel in disguise. First stanza of Lorenzo's speech. Which one? Dropped down dead. Okay, that's from Patriot, right? Speech on music. No, don't be under the impression that this, music, that means Act 5. You all are talking of music. Lorenzo's speech on music. Act 5, Scene 1. 1 minute. So Lorenzo, remember those references, historical references, that Thisbe, then Dido, and then Medea, and yes, these are the three given. So remember them. Go and see in your workbook. I have also explained it well in my video, Act 5, Scene 1, regarding these. So, in such a night once. Go for the in such a night once. Oh yes, another one is Troilus and Cressida. See, we can predict, but what will happen we cannot say. We are not the paper setters. Sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't. But I have seen that in ICSE they never repeated when the syllabus was the vast one. But now that the syllabus has been 11 has been eliminated, so in that case, after that also you all try, if you all try to leave, like for you all 9 has been eliminated, so in that case there is little chance of your yes, Pyramus, yes, Nishi or Shambhavi, yes, another one, Thisbe and Pyramus or Pyramus, as you can call it, Troilus and Cressida, and Dido, her lover Aeneas, and these are the couples, and then she compares herself and Lorenzo. So on such a night, these are the things happen. Regarding media, there is no couple mentioned. That media had collected the magical herbs on such a night to bring back the youth of her father-in-law Asen. So that is a bit out of context. But the night is here more important, and that is why, yes, it can be in such a night. What happened? Troilus, he was in love with Cressida, but she was that time taken by the Greeks, and she was in the Greek tent outside the walls of Troy. So he deeply sighed the loss of his beloved. Regarding Thisbe and Pyramus, they wanted to marry against the wish of their families, and they planned to meet in the forest. And when Thisbe came, she saw a lion, and she ran away, leaving her scarf or cloak back. And when Pyramus came, and he saw the blood-stained cloak of Thisbe, he felt that the lion must have devoured her, and then he also commits suicide. It's like more like Romeo and Juliet. And then Dido the queen of Carthage, and she was in love with Aeneas, who had escaped from burning Troy and had come here, and she had given him shelter, and then they had fallen in love, but he jilted her and went away. So she carried a willow in her hand. What is willow symbolic of? You might get a question like this. Willow is symbolic of jilted love. So she carried that, and then what happened? She wanted her lover to come back, and then she drowned in the waters of the sea. She committed suicide. So that was indeed a tragic one, just like Thisbe and Troilus. But regarding Medea, there is nothing tragic. It's rather happy that Aeson, her father-in-law, gets back his youth. And then there is personal reference. Lorenzo talks about Jessica running away from her rich father and coming from Venice to Belmont. And Jessica teases her husband by saying that Lorenzo had sworn that he loved her well, but none of them were true. So they keep on, and in the meantime, they are interrupted. Achha, regarding music, what does Lorenzo say? When Jessica says, I am not merry when I hear sweet music. Remember, in her house, music was forbidden. Shylock said, na, he did not want the noise of music to enter his sober house. Shallow foppery, he called them. So naturally, Jessica cannot enjoy she doesn't get lively when she hears sweet music. So Lorenzo says, the reason why you don't get lively is because you are attentive, you are listening to the music with all attention, and that is why you're concentrating on the music. And then he gives the example of these colts. Colts are young untrained horses. They behave in a very wild manner, but when they hear the sound of music, when they hear some music, when it enters their ears, what happens? Their wildness disappears. They become all attentive. And then he brings in the reference of Ovid. Ovid had written a poem about Orpheus, who was a gifted musician. He used to play the lyre. Lyre is a musical instrument. Not the spelling is not L-I-A-R, it's L-Y-R-E. So Orpheus was such a gifted musician that when he played the lyre, what happened? Inanimate things also, as if they sprang to life. Trees, they are living creatures, but stones and rivers, they started moving from their places. And Lorenzo is of the opinion that music can change the nature of people, but if a person is not influenced by music, then this person should not be trusted, because he is fit for any types of evil deeds. And his soul is as his affections or his feelings, or his soul is as dark as the dull night, and his affections dark as Erebus. Erebus, what does Erebus mean? Erebus means hell. So this is about music. Not only that, there is another one. No, not here. Okay, another one, when he orders the musicians to play, he tells, and after that, Let's in and expect their coming. This speech of Lorenzo is also important. It ends in a note of hope. The patriot, it ends in a note of hope. He feels that I might not have got judgment here. The judgment which I expect for having done good to the people, I might not have been rewarded here. But God is the ultimate judge, and I surrender myself in His hands. He is the best judge, and He is sure that He will be rewarded for whatever he has done. So God is the best judge. He will reward you or punish you for your faults or reward you for your good deeds. So he feels that he will be appreciated in heaven by God. And this is what Browning's message is, his eternal faith in God. The patriot, the last ones. Regarding Lorenzo, I told you even this speech is important. After Stefano leaves, he says, how sweet the moonlight sleeps on this bank. So moonlight is as if being personified. The moonlight falls on the bank. So he wants to sit there and enjoy music. And then he tells Jessica to look at the stars in heaven. And he says, this line is important. There is not the smallest orb which thou beholdest, but in his motion like an angel sings, still querying to young-eyed cherubins. So, smallest orbs, what does it mean? Smallest stars. So, they also produce celestial or divine music. And they as if are singing in a choir with these small angels, cherubims. So, cherubims are actually angels. So, such harmony is in immortal souls. Immortal, the stars, they are immortal. The angels are immortal, and there is a harmony in them. They are as if singing in a choir. And he says, we cannot hear that divine or celestial music. Why? Because our soul is entrapped in our rib cage. Our human body is perishable. The muddy vesture of decay, what does it refer to? You might get an MCQ question or a small question. So the muddy vesture of decay refers to our physical or our human body. And our soul is imprisoned in this rib cage. So long as it is there, prisoned, we cannot hear this heavenly music. Only when it is emancipated or freed from our rib cage, then only you can enjoy the heavenly music. Regarding the guess, if you want, you can go for that video which I had put last month. The probable, I said, probable important chapters. Oh dear discretion, how his words are suited. He is talking about Lancelot. Lancelot is very clever. He knows how to play with words. He is a witty person. So Lorenzo is really impressed by what Lancelot says. And that is when he says, oh dear discretion. Okay. So I think, yes, it's enough. Now you all can go and revise on your own. I will try to be back tomorrow. So it's nearly 10 o'clock. So bye for the time being.